Well, hello, my beautiful Cancerians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I am using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, something to think about during this time, which may be of benefit to you, to really visualize the changes you would like to see in your world, if any. This is a time to really focus on what it is you're manifesting, whether it's money, love, opportunity, or deeper friendships. Whatever it is, use this time because the Gaia chimes recalibrate the vibrations to align you with what it is that you desire, okay? So with that in mind, let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Cancerians, this is a little bonus reading all about you. Us tarot readers, we tend to focus on career, money, love, but we never ask how are you doing. So this reading will tap into what you're moving through at this time and of course what lies on the other side. Now, I don't know if you noticed with the Gaia chimes, it was very thoughtful energy, but in the flow of things, maybe something in the background there where you feel a little bit out of sync or a little bit out of balance, but you will come back into alignment. But also I was given a major message for you during the Gaia chimes, which is very unusual. Normally I see images and I am seeing Hamza hand there. So the Hamza hand is all about protection. But the message I was given was you're like a fine symphony, fine tuning, and you're only just getting warmed up and started. And also there was this energy of like, it doesn't have to be perfect. So someone out there, there's a message there. So perhaps you are, getting ready for something, preparing for something. You're only getting started on something. It feels like it's all going to come together because it was like fine tuning something before the symphony plays, as it were. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes it's okay to be a little bit messy, to just go for it. Do your thing. Free will a little bit. Now, of course, that may be connected to something outside of you, but this reading is about you. So let's get into the energy about you. I had to give you that message before we start. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Cancerians? What do they need to be aware of at this time? We've got Wi-Fi. Okay. So this is, of course, an energy here of expansion, of tapping into the kind of invisible energetic waves around us. You're someone who's very intuitive, very deep and sensitive there. You actually have like an inbuilt sonar where you can pick up on the vibrations of people around you, especially your family. You're someone who's really connected. Family is the most important there for you. But there's an energy here. And of course, family is soul tribe. This can be many different people that you consider your inner circle, as it were. But I feel this is about a desire to be connected, or maybe you're picking up on something intuitively. There's an undercurrent of something, and you're not sure how or what it means for you, as it were, okay? We have the clover crossing it, so it can indicate that some of these changes that perhaps you're picking up on, they have the potential to be good, but also the potential to be negative, and you're not sure. It feels like you're at a turning point, as it were. And I feel like you're about to advance on something, but this is again something outside of yourself. But a lot of you, this could be a major emotional breakthrough. It could be that you are kind of like quietening the inner critic, maybe looking at intrusive thoughts as well. I feel a lot of you want to challenge yourself more as well, to come out of your comfort zone. I feel before I even start your reading, there's an energy of better luck on something that you are making headway on. You may even take it day by day, step by step there. But I feel that this is about you really kind of like taking the first steps towards success, and perhaps you've been seeking knowledge, maybe even like utilizing the internet there. Again, this is something outside of yourself, but I want you to be aware if this is something that is like a project or some sort of new endeavor there, because there's something changing, something big changing here. It's almost like you are redesigning your life in some way. Okay, making some major changes. I want you to be aware they're going to be very successful. Intuitively move through this. Always trust your hunches. I mean, to have the Wi-Fi, that can indicate you're picking up on something, knowledge, or, you know, body language, or you're picking up on something that perhaps will inform you. And it could physically be knowledge, of course, but I feel there is desire here for you to want to change something about your life, and you're making steps towards doing that, okay? And I feel it's going to be very successful. But most importantly, I want you to be aware you're safe and secure to explore, okay? So that's something that's coming out there as well. So I'm going to move away from that energy, because this is your first card, and this is about the people that you're connected to. This is all about connection, okay? Intimate connections with friends, relationships, relations, as in like your soul tribe. I feel this is about authentic communication, speaking your truth, and knowing that there's a bond there, okay? You may have felt that some of your friendships have been detaching or evolving, and you may have felt that you're slowly letting go of something or somebody here, and it feels discombobulating. You may feel something is out of sync or out of rhythm, you know, because we have the clover. You know, the clover represents life being up and down sometimes, and you may feel there have been some challenges that you've been navigating, but it just feels like there's this energy and desire to meet new people or have new friendships, because old ones are evolving. That's something that's coming through very strongly. It says here, online activity. So a lot of you may be looking at your online communications, or how you're connecting to people, how you're sharing information about yourself. But also, it says here, social networks, expanding your social circle and online business. So, I mean, a lot of you could be focused on your online businesses if you have that. But I feel more than anything, this is about you looking at perhaps how information reaches you and how it changes your inner world, as it were, because we have the clover, which is very kind of like changeable. So when you have it in a crossing position like this, it can indicate that, you know, whatever you are picking up on or absorbing, whether it's you witnessing something online, going through reels, whether it is watching news, doesn't have to be mainstream news. It can be like alternative news or independent news. It could be when people give you information, or it can be, you know, things that you're absorbing in your environment. You know, this could also be that you're looking at like Wi-Fi signals. Do you feel a little bit like overheated when you're next to the router in your house, for example? Is it giving off really strong like vibes? You know, it can be that you're looking at vibes in general, but I feel this is about the clover energy as a crossing energy. And it's like, is it positive or is it negative? If it's negative, you're cutting it out. I feel this is about you kind of looking at all the things that you're connected to. Wi-Fi doesn't have to be just about you know, the internet, as it were. This can be connection. It can be the invisible bond of connection that you have between you and the world around you, your personal environment, people, situations. We're all energy, and we're all energy fields. And it can be that you are looking at who is a positive force in your life and who is a negative force, who drains you, who triggers emotions within you that makes you feel insecure or unsure of a path, or who is supportive and helps guide you or is there for you when you need them. So it can be that you are looking at all that you connect to right now. And this could be across the board. I mean, because we have a very cerebral connection with the air energy as well with this, because of course Wi-Fi is transmitted through the air. It can be that you feel change is in the air, and this could be that you're trying to make sense of a world that feels like it's very challenging right now, because the clover, of course, in the resistance position, you can feel that there's a lot of chaos. You can feel like you're a little bit stuck in a rut. You may feel that you're constantly bombarded with negativity online, for example, and you want to go to your happy place and maybe watch like a cat reel, for example, or something like that. It can be that you're just noticing there is like a bombardment of changeable things that change your energy, because we have the anchor, which is emotional grounding here, and we have the lips, which is about communication. Because it's with the Wi-Fi energy, I feel this is about you achieving stability in a very changeable world, and you kind of like trying to pick up on vibes to prepare for what it is that could change in the future. I feel there's this core energy of you, because if you think about the Wi-Fi signal, it's like a radar. It's like picking up on the invisible in order to transmute information. So some of you could be really sitting with self, trying to tap into your intuition about people, news that's personal to you, or even the world at large. It just feels like there's a lot of change going on around you, and you feel, how do I navigate this? A lot of you may feel that luck has not been like really present in your life, or you may feel it's sporadic. It's almost like you feel grateful for all the good stuff that's come your way, but you may feel that things have been a little bit up and down because this card is in this position. Also, there is this energy of feeling like you want more surprise in life, but in a good way. So it's interesting because my guides are giving it to me as surprise. So let me just see. I mean, there is a surprise here, and it is positive. There is something, perhaps it's you've been problem solving or trying to find information or trying to find something out on somebody or something. You'll be surprised what you see, and it helps you move forward, is what I'm being given. But also there's this other energy of you're someone who picks up on the undercurrent of life, and sometimes that disappoints you because you see people's motivations before they do, and it can like change your perspective. Okay, so it's almost like nothing surprises you anymore, because it's, my guides are just giving me the word surprise. So there's something about this card. I mean, it is the connecting card to the Wheel of Fortune, so it can indicate that because you're so like awakened or in tune right now, or you're picking up on so many different vibes, and you may be calling things out before they even happen. Even in the world right now, you may be like, this is probably how it's going to go down. And then suddenly you're seeing how it's going down, and you're like, see, told you, didn't want to be right, but there it is. So it can be that you're looking at the good and the bad of a situation, and it's like nothing surprises you anymore, but at the same time, you need to kind of like be tuned in so that you can preempt any changes that could affect your stability. Now, this could be you looking at the economy, or it could be you looking at like world circumstances and feeling that there is an undercurrent in some way. But I want you to be aware that the undercurrent, yes, there is like change to come. There's a lot of cutbacks going on. There's a lot of change happening. I feel like you want the positive change, of course, but you are secure and safe in these changes. You have the bull there, which is all about stability, and we've got the safe there. So this can be that like you're protecting your finances because you're making sure that you're stable with some of these changes that are to come. Or it can be that you are making some major changes and you're unsure how this is going to go for you, but I feel anything that you feel right now is challenging, it is going to go into the upright, which means it is successful. A lot of you may also be feeling a little bit stuck in a rut, in some sort of cycle or routine, because the equivalent of the Wheel of Fortune can be, repetitive cycle that you find yourself in, and you're trying to remove yourself from that because you have the scissors. So this could be you're trying to remove yourself from other people's drama right now, and you're trying to just, cut out anything that hurts you or hinders you. So this doesn't have to be people, but I see because you have the theater mask there, it can be that you're cutting out drama, okay? But it could also be like food substances, the things that you digest, because we have lips here as well, and you have this energy of connection, like anything you connect to. So you may notice that perhaps some food substances recently that perhaps you've eaten all your life have started to shift or change, or your body is having a different reaction to them and you're trying to recalibrate and say, oh, that's weird, that's changed, okay? Or my body has changed and it's dealing with it in a different way. You may notice that some things that you could eat a long time ago you can't have now, and you may be changing or shifting the way you nourish your body. Okay, so this can be as you mature, you're cutting a lot of things out, so you have more energy. There's also this energy for some of you trying to locate what it is that is putting you off kilter. If you felt extra exhausted, drained, or you felt like your hormones are out of balance there, because something feels like it's out of balance, especially when you have a cycle energy. There's something out of balance with a cycle with this card, and it can be that you discover the piece of information that unlocks it all. So you may discover that you have like a vitamin deficiency, or that because we have the anchor there, that you're dehydrated, for example. A lot of you, it could also be that emotionally you've been feeling a lot of pressure recently, or some stress, and it's just put you out of alignment. We're living in a very pressurized world at this moment in time, and you are someone who picks up on vibes. You pick up on the whole undercurrent, and you may be feeling that the world is very heavy right now, and intuitively, you're preempting some changes, but also you have a lot of empathy. So it feels like you're absorbing a lot. I just get an energy here of you absorbing so many things right now. But also, because we have these two cards, this can be that you're looking at the two-facedness of people or situations. It's like you're being told one thing, and then another thing is happening. And this could be how the world is being run right now, or this could be something in your personal circumstances. You're just looking at like what you're being told to your face and what you feel the truth of it really is, because you're picking up on something that is an undercurrent. Okay, and it says here with this card, the clover, it says good fortune, luck is on your side, prosperous relationships, prosperity consciousness. Okay, so a lot of you may have struggled with manifestation recently as well, because you're looking at the truth of the world and how it is presenting itself at this moment in time. A lot of conflict, a lot of chaos, and you may feel a lot of people are under pressure, including yourself. And then you're trying to manifest and finding it hard, like you're blocked because you're under a lot of pressure, and you're seeing things as they truly are. And we've got the theater mask, which indicates, you're seeing the positive, you're seeing the negative. It could also be that your emotions are fluctuating. One moment you're feeling super positive about something, and the next minute you're plunged into, a very negative space or a challenging space because there are intrusive thoughts, or you've read something, or you're picking up on something. I mean, over the last couple of years, humanity has changed monumentally, and we've all gone through a collective trauma on a very deep level, and everybody is dealing with that in their own way. A lot of us are like, put it to the side, get on with life, or back doing our own thing. But there's an undercurrent, and you're someone who is very sensitive to an undercurrent. So it can indicate that you feel deep down, there's this energy of being in fight or flight mode, always having to be prepared for, the next negative thing. You have the bull in the past energy, which means you feel that things were more secure, or you felt more safe or stable in the past. And now you feel like, either people or situations toy with your emotions, or you're just feeling like there is something here where you're like, I'm picking up on a vibe, and I'm not really sure what that vibe is, but it's making me feel out of sync. Now, this could be something to do with you, the world at large, or people in your circumstances right now. So if this is a friendship that you're picking up on some change, or you feel like someone is not telling you something, intuitively, I feel like And then you're going to discover the missing piece. You're going to discover the information. When you have a keyhole, this can indicate a secret. But for some of you, this could also be that you are looking at your secret side of self, your private side. Maybe you're tapping into this sense of empowerment, learning more about yourself, what you're capable of, and perhaps pursuing secret desires, maybe projects or things under the radar, for example. Or it can be that, you're quietly removing yourself from things or people that hurt you or cause you to feel very like uncertain. Sometimes I'm just being given this, so it may not resonate with everyone. Sometimes we have a person in our life where, we share friendship with them and they'll give us a compliment, but it's a backhanded compliment, almost like they raise you up, but also knock you down in that one compliment, passive aggressive energy. Well, it's like, oh yeah, you're great. It's so amazing. Yeah. I'm so happy for you. It's really unlike you to be like this, but yeah, it's amazing. So it's like they didn't expect this success of you, but they're raising you up, but at the same time, they're knocking you down. They're saying, wow, you've just superseded my expectations. I'm not really backing you. I thought you would fail, but here you are succeeding. So it's like, could you tell your face that you're happy for me? Because I'm not seeing it. So some of you may be just witnessing people around you shifting and changing, and you're just removing yourself because you feel, actually, it's better to move forward without their negative force, because there is a positive negative energy going on here right now. And I do feel that you are looking at things that have a positive influence: food, substances, people, situations, news, whatever it is. And also there is an opposite, which, there is a negativity there as well. So you are trying to avoid the negativity because you feel like, it just impedes your progress, or it just makes you feel super low because you're someone who comes in truth, you are authentic, you're someone who basically invests your whole self into friendships, relationships, and you really care. So sometimes it's really disappointing when people make you feel that way, or they reveal their true colors, or they evolve into this person that you feel like you don't recognize anymore. So some of you may be dealing with that, and you're going through some sort of separation process or breakup there, because we have the scissors. Now the scissors can be like instant cut. You're done with something. You may have been enduring something for a long time, but I feel like now you're bringing your focus back to yourself. You could be walking away from something, but I also feel a lot of you, let's not really connect this to people outside of yourself. I feel like you're redesigning your life in some way. And we've got the lips there. So this can be that you're communicating yourself from a healthy place, but also it can be that you want lighter energy in life. You just want more fun, to be more flirty in life. Doesn't mean you want to flirt with a person. It may mean you just want to reignite your lust for life, be more free-spirited. You've had a lot of responsibility or challenge recently, and it can indicate that some days you're up, some days you're down, but you're like, when did it get so hard? This is a card of saying, you know what? I want to fall in love with my life again, because it says here, kiss, intimate communication, flirtation, and sensuality. So this can be for the self. It can be that you want to fall in love with yourself again, have more confidence within yourself, kind of look at yourself with new eyes and see that sometimes, I'm just being given this energy. And again, as I said, it may not resonate with everyone. It's like when we look at ourselves, sometimes in the past, especially a photograph, we're like, oh my gosh, I remember when I didn't want to go out that evening because I felt so low about myself. But now I look back at that photograph and I think, my gosh, you're awesome. Why were you feeling that way? It's all about the emotions and how we feel. And it's about conquering intrusive thoughts. So I'm just getting this energy that there's something here that's been creating a high and a low in your life. Again, it doesn't have to be your emotions. It can be hormones. It can be, food substances. But you have the potential position of the anchor, which means you anchor your emotions or your hormones, or you find a grounding. A lot of you are seeking grounding right now. But also you want to kind of have a little bit more light energy in your life. For some of you, it can be that you've had a lot of drama in relationships, romantic ones, and you're seeking, a flirtation, or you're seeking a sensuality, a bond between someone. And, I feel like as you mature, you're recognizing red flags so that you would not connect to these red flags and cut the relationship quite quickly or early on when you witness any of these things, because you're not willing to invest in those experiences. You've been there, done that, so it feels very much like you've learned a lot. And there's this energy of saying, you know what? I've been through that. I'm not going to repeat that again. So you may be seeking love if you're currently single, and there's an energy here of cutting cords with the past in some way, but also entering into a new stage where you open up to a person. There is like a frisson, a chemistry, a bond that will lead to a high-level commitment, okay? And, it's like take it slow with the step-by-step approach there. And I feel the fear, because this is a hope and a fear, that, are you getting a true, authentic person, especially if you've had experiences where someone let you down in love, or, cheated on you, or maybe it was a very turbulent ending. You're not going to experience that again because you've cut out that, or you've separated from that lesson because you've learned it, and now you're on to like a new era. So I'm just giving you like a highlight here where something that has been causing some disruption or positive, negative kind of up and down energy, I feel like you conquer this, or you cut it out. You find more grounding in it, if that makes sense. Now, in the past position, of course, the bull is all about wealth, stability, but it can be that you were dealing with very stubborn people, or you feel that you had to dig your heels in on something, or someone has been trying to control you in something or emotionally manipulate you in some way, and you're not about it. I feel this is about you kind of standing your ground on something and cutting out or removing something or somebody that you feel no longer deserves a place in your world. And you're not compromising your morals or your life philosophy. I just feel like you are someone who is very strong. And sometimes people can see the word stubborn as a negative, but actually I feel this is a really positive energy for you, where you were uncompromising on something, and you need to know that you were very strong in the situation. And don't overthink it, because you did the right thing in the right circumstances, what I'm being given there. But because we have stability and durability, riches and wealth on this card as well, you may feel that financially, things felt a little bit more stable in the past. Again, this is something outside of yourself, but this is also a desire in relationships, communications, and in environments as well as friendships, where you need to feel secure so that you can truly flourish and, come into your own. And this may be something that you felt like you had to do in the past, or it just helped in the past. But now I feel like you're re-empowered, and you're the sort of person who's like, I don't need people's validation. I don't feel like you've ever needed that, but you've invested in friendships and relationships in the past that you may feel have not invested in you, but you still continue to offer a part of yourself to try and make things work or remain connected, because you're reading, the center of it is all about connection. Now I feel like you're looking at investment, and if they bring drama to your door or they're not investing in a healthy way, cut. I feel like you're definitely like cutting them out, okay? Because you're grounding yourself. I mean, a lot of your cards are all about security and safety, emotional safety, feeling secure in the world at large, but also your personal life here. So it can be that you're grappling with those feelings right now, and you have felt that things have been very changeable over the last couple of years, and you may feel so fed up of change. You're trying to make sense of this world. It feels very heavy at this moment in time, heavy with hurt, heavy with struggle, but also you're trying to make your way on something as well. And it can be that, you're paying attention to certain things that perhaps are not readily available to see at this moment, but you've got so many cards of stability and security that I feel like you are very adaptable to your environment. This is a card of adapting. Okay, being in a cycle, being in a flow. And it says security and safety, achieving stability, unwavering dedication, a strong bond, and enduring. So this is about you having strong connections in your world, but also it is about you really feeling an undercurrent of people. So if you feel like someone close to you is harboring a secret, or they are not telling you something, I feel like intuitively you've picked up on it. I don't see it as negative. It may be dramatic, whatever it is, because we've got the theater mask there, but there's just this energy of safety and you kind of like cutting something out or letting something go. I actually want to pull a card on that scissors to see what it's all about, but I just feel like you are, from a personal level, redesigning your life. This could be you moving to a new neighborhood and kind of sussing out different neighborhoods. The Wi-Fi, you could be online, searching for homes or new kind of countries, or, it could be that you want change in general, and you want to be a little bit more sporadic, a little bit more spontaneous in life, more impromptu. So it could be that you're sourcing out new events, new experiences, because there's this energy of not wanting to be held back or tied down. So I feel there's so many layers of you right now that's coming out in this reading. These may be things that you feel like you're pressurizing yourself to think about, or these are things that are like pushing their way into your mind, like, oh, I should be more this, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, and I need to keep an eye on this, and this is happening right now, but what does that really mean? And what's going on in the world as well? It's like so many layers in this reading, and I feel this is about grounding. Breathe. The anchor indicates that wherever you feel like this change is happening, you will find home in the outcome. So whether it is moving to a new country, new neighborhood, whether it is moving a job, whether it is moving through a separation from a friendship or a relationship, you will come home to self. And I feel this is a positive process. A lot of you may feel like you've lost touch with a part of yourself because of all these changes and this constant need to kind of like find your way in an ever-changing world or environment. And it's been hard, okay? But I do feel like you rediscover yourself, rediscover that kind of like inner spark, that lust for life, that fizziness, as it were. And you are, dedicated to the people, of course, that you care about and love, but also you must not lose sight of yourself. This is about almost like rededicating yourself to you, taking a day out for you, going on a little date with you so that you can redefine who you are and really connect to this sense of your core, what you believe in, what it is you want. So I feel with this card being in your near future, some of you may have experienced an ending or a very turbulent experience or change or a struggle in some way, and you're taking it one step at a time. But also I feel there's this energy of you aligning with better luck because you're having the courage to cut some things out that perhaps don't align with you anymore. So it says here, taking action, first steps towards success, pursuing something, and step-by-step approach. I feel like you're making your mark in some way, okay? But also, I feel like this is a card of acknowledging how far you've come in the changes that you've experienced, and you're communicating yourself from a healthier place. This is about you kind of like, I almost want to say, breathing and uttering your manifestations to life, okay? Because it says here, the lips, the clover, and the steps. It's like you're uttering something. Your words are so important. Thoughts become things. Words are spellings. They're cast out to the universe there. The clover is literally the wheel of fortune. Better luck is on its way for you. And the steps, it's like you're having to take necessary steps or the path becomes clear. So if some of you feel, because we have the anchor there, that although you have goals and dreams and points that you want to get to in your life and things that you want to achieve, manifest, and lock down, it can be that you feel like you've been drifting in some way, drifting emotionally or finding yourself in a brand new world in some way where you're having to just navigate your way. And the path is becoming clear for you at this time. And it's like the missing pieces of the puzzle, maybe even the missing pieces of you, perhaps, are starting to show up for you or starting to make sense or starting to fit. When you get a puzzle piece, it means things are starting to slot into place in the way that you want them to. So it says here, challenge, problem solving, disconnect and detached, missing something and someone. Now, of course, for some of you, and this is not all of you, if you have gone through a level of trauma or you've been grieving someone who has transitioned, passed away, I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. I can see that you're trying to navigate and trying to connect. You may be looking for signs. Feathers are going to be so important for you. You're going to see feathers everywhere you go, During moments of intense emotion, I also feel like feathers are going to show up for you there as well. So ask for a specific sign because I feel like you'll get it, but feathers are going to be everywhere for you and really unique ones and ones that are going to be in such unusual places. Okay, so that's something to be mindful of. But this person, I feel like they're helping you make some changes and they walk by your side. You do not walk alone. Okay, so that's something that's coming out there. But with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove from this energy, but it is a process. There's going to be some days where you're up, some days when you're down, some days where you're numb, some days where you're in shock. You know, it is about managing. And I feel like this is about taking steps towards managing it. And it helps you redefine your life on your own terms as well. Okay, so again, with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to remove myself from this energy there. But you're going to be able to feel them and feel their presence, okay? Especially in stillness. So I'll leave it there. But this card, for everybody else who has not been going through this could be that you feel like you've lost touch with yourself or felt disassociated or on autopilot or in fight or flight mode over the last couple of years. And you just feel like you're finding the missing puzzles of you. You're trying to work yourself out, redefine yourself, find out who you are, reconnect to parts of yourself that you feel like you've lost touch with. But also, this can be that you have been dealing with a problem and now you're problem solving and you're going to find a solution that helps you move forward, because the steps indicate you have the information that you require to move forward, because this position actually is the position where it's like advice you give to yourself in this moment. Find the missing piece. What is it that you feel is the missing ingredient from your life? Now, this could also be, you know, if your hormones have been going up and down, for example, it could be that you find that there is a missing ingredient in your body. It could be like a deficiency, for example, vitamin deficiency, mineral deficiency, water deficiency. So it could be that there's something missing right now that you need to discover. For some of you, it can be that it helps you align, but also means you have to cut something else out, because sometimes when we take something that's really healthy for us and something else that's also equally healthy for us, it could be that sometimes these two, if taken together, cancel each other out, meaning it creates a deficiency. So it could be that you have to take them at different times, moderate, for example, or it could be that there's certain things you need to take that complement each other. You're going to find the information on that. But also, this could be that you finally find what you're searching for. You know, if you think about an anchor, it's on a boat. This is a soul-searching mission. And it's like you are searching for something, and only when you have found what you are looking for, or you found a place that feels like home, whether that's in an actual place, an area, whether that's within yourself, whether that's with a person, only then do you lower the anchor to stay a while, to really enjoy the moment. A lot of you are trying to find presence of being, to live in the moment. Easier said than done, of course, because sometimes we live in the past, sometimes we live in the future, but you can only be you right now. But also, I feel this is about you finally finding what you are searching for, but you have to locate what it is as an idea, as it were, that you're searching for something. So, for example, if you feel like you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders right now and the world got really heavy and serious over the last couple of years, you may be like, okay, I just want to have fun. I just want to be able to say what I want, say what I mean, which of course you can, but it can be that you want to have a little bit more sparkle in life. Maybe you feel that, you know, especially with the internet, you know, the internet is an incredible tool. It gives us access to so much information. But also, with every positive, there's a negative. There's so much information out there that's true and so much that's fake. And we are living in a Neptune Pisces kind of era, which means, you know, there's a lot of deception there. There's a lot of illusion, things presenting as real. So it's about trying to sort through the faff in life in order to locate the truth. But also, you know, this can be that in a world where we utilize a tool like the internet, it feels like relationships have drifted. Authentic conversations are less and less and less. It's starting to be defined into like a text message, an emoji. You know, I'm even going to do a competition online regarding free reading, of course. So if you want to enter that competition, and I wasn't really going to mention it now, I normally mention it at the end so that people can just fast forward to it if they want to hear it, of course. But, you know, if you want to be in with a chance to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is put an emoji of a candle in the comments box below, or if you don't have access to that, write the word candle, because of course the world needs light right now. Also, you know, as an aside, but you don't have to do this part, play your favorite song. The most positive song that you have that really raises your vibrations. Really listen to it loud if you can, so it can change your vibrations, because everything you feel inside of yourself actually emits outwards. And, you know, that is something that you're aware of. Your mood actually affects the room. It affects the world. So, you know, playing your favorite song and the positive vibrations that go with that collectively, if, like, you know, there's something like over 700,000 of you out there who have subscribed to my channel, if you all played your own favorite song and the vibes of that song were emitting out into the world, then it can change the vibrations and everybody can just change their little patch of the world. I know that's such an ideal view of what I aspire to achieve, but it is something that we are aware of, that everything affects our emotions, affects our energy fields around us, our aura, everything. So, please enter the competition if you do want to win a free personal reading, and I will announce a winner at the end of September there, so you have plenty of time to, basically enter as many times as you want, really. But coming back to this energy, it's like, we utilize so many tools and we're so connected, yet how is it we feel so apart still? This energy of loneliness or drifting or, desiring deeper connections. And I feel that's what you are desiring, more authentic connection. So some of you may even be searching for your soul tribe. And you will find your soul tribe if you are searching. But circumstances outside of yourself, we've got solid energy. We've got safety. We've got security. We've got like gold. This is about your investment. But it's also about solid things, a solid friendship, a solid relationship, a solid world, a solid economy, a solid everything. So I feel there is this desire to make things secure and solid because you invest so much of yourself. And therefore, you should be reflected in the world that you offer that comes back to you. But unfortunately, there is something a little bit out of balance here. So you may feel that all the things you're invested in right now have not fully been finalized or become solid in the way that you want them to, but you're on course to make that happen. This is circumstances outside of yourself, okay? So it says here, what you value is safe. And this is all about value here, valuing yourself, valuing your friendships, relationships, job, if you're in a job, money, of course. Money keeps us stable. It keeps us paying the bills. It says, protect what is yours. Secrets are safe. So if you have a secret, perhaps secret life, secret ideas, working off-grid under the radar, these things are safe. You may be even patenting things, trademarking things to secure, copywriting. But it says here, hidden valuable information. Something valuable is making its way for you, that missing ingredient that helps life be more positive or more secure. I mean, that's a practical card as well. So some of you may literally be purchasing a safe, for example, or something like that. But we have the hope and a fear position. The hope is happiness. We've got the happy mask there. The fear is sadness, of abandonment, of drifting, of not knowing, of feeling insecure, of feeling not safe in a world that seems to have changed. That's the hope and a fear right there. It says also here, conflicting feelings, which I feel a lot of you may be trying to work out why you have conflicting feelings about yourself or situations. You're trying to understand yourself on a deeper level. But it says being two-faced. I've already addressed that. That you're cutting people like that out. Good and bad experiences. I feel like you have had good and bad experiences and you're trying to see where the puzzle pieces fit. How does everything come together? Why are the bad experiences there? What was the message? What's the lesson? Doubling down on that and trying to understand the way can help, but it doesn't take away the fact that you may have experienced something that was truly challenging and you're asking why? Why did this happen to me? There's been so many things in my life that were super traumatic and it took me years to really come to terms and get to grips with some of the things that I've experienced. And it's not a competition as to who's experienced what and how they feel about things because everyone's different. But at the same time, it does take time and you question these things and think, why did that happen to me? And I've asked my guides and I've been told you needed those experiences so you could connect to people and have empathy and understand what people may be going through to some degree. And at the time I didn't understand, but now I do understand. So, you have gone through some perhaps challenging experiences so you can connect in some way to either others and help someone else in some way. But also, I feel there's an energy here of, because your final bit here is creating unnecessary drama. I feel like you are streamlining your world in some way to make sure that nothing unnecessary impedes your progress. So I really feel like you are reshaping your landscape in some way. Maybe you're trying new things. It feels daunting to have change. And the fear is that it could go wrong, or it could bring devastation or sadness. I mean, a lot of you may grapple deep down with, the idea of losing someone or something that feels so important to you. Water elements, very sensitive. I mean, humanity, very sensitive. If you care about a person, you fear losing them in general. You fear loss because you care so much. So it's about living in the moment. It's about enjoying the experience with the person whilst they are in your life. And that's very hard to come to terms with. But, being such a sensitive soul, you may worry about the people you care about or circumstances, and you hold on. You want to dig in and say, I love you, you're mine. But, of course, I don't mean in a possessive way. Sometimes when we have that overwhelming sense of love for people, we also crash into the negative of what if they leave, or when they transition, pass away. Loss and grief, they are in hand. So some of you may be dealing with those emotions right now of trying to navigate how you feel about, security and safety in a relationship or a friendship, or, things that matter to you, and have them taken away from you or leaving. But I don't see that that's going to happen to you. I just see here that you're safe, secure, your relationship's safe and secure. And with the scissors energy, this can basically, in terms of life, and this is a very deep concept right now that I probably didn't really want to go to in any reading, but, this connects to the death card energy. So it can indicate that the one thing in this whole world, this construct, is that everything changes. And we have to navigate a world and circumstances that always change. That's the one constant in this world. Change is inevitable. Seasons change, people change, circumstances change. Plants flourish and then, blossom and bloom, and then, they kind of die off then, of course, and then you deadhead the roses, and then it, is replenished once more. So that is the cycle. Because you have a cycle card with that clover, which is the equivalent of the Wheel of Fortune. So a lot of you may be thinking about the cycles of life in general and how you feel with that. But it says here, separation, cutting something out, letting go, and wanting change. Sometimes we have to let go in order to be in the flow, because if we constantly think about trying to hold on to something, we crush it. Being in the flow, we enjoy things a lot more. So a lot of you could be dealing with something like that. But on a personal level, coming back to the core of you, I feel like you desire change for the positive, and you're going to see it. I feel there's a lot of success. This card is your near future position, making steps towards success. So if you're cutting something out in a diet, for example, you're going to see success of the impact that has on your body, on your mindset, on your energy levels. Because of course, Wi-Fi can be energetic frequencies. So it can be that you're making an impact on your energy. For some of you, it could be that you are wanting to be more spontaneous, and you are going to see that life gets more rewarding or enriching because you're having more experiences, more excitement. For example, some of you may be deciding to let your hair down a little bit more, go out, have fun, connect to new people, maybe even find love. It can be that you're changing your approach, because this is ultimately a change. And for some of you, it could literally be that you are actually changing your style, your wardrobe, your look. If you're dealing with a separation, I feel like there is an energy of you navigating a brand new world and a new timeline for you. And I feel like you rediscover yourself, and actually I feel this energy of you're removing all of the drama. You're free. For some of you, it could be that you're coming to the end of an era. It could be that you're moving into retirement, and it's a different pace of life, and you're feeling a bit nervous, a bit worried. You want to be secure. You're you know, fluctuating in your energy. Sometimes you're like, yeah, this is going to be exciting. I'm going to do more things for me. This is my time. And then next minute you may be like influenced by feelings of worry or anxiety, or notice like some sort of news source that says something about the economy. And you're like, oh my gosh, it plunges you into a negativity. Be mindful as to what you are digesting at this time. Protect your energy. And what I mean by that is, you know, digesting doesn't always have to be something that you like imbibe or eat. It can be things that you absorb, you watch, you listen to. Oh, so finally we have alignment. Yes, you're coming back into alignment. We've got partnership. That did come up in your reading. So if you are seeking love, there is one coming on in. We also have wisdom, learning more about yourself. My guides asked me to go one more. So we have infinity and we have synchronicity. Trust the process, basically. So we've got 222 there, alignment. You're going to see this number a lot everywhere if you're not already seeing this. I hope you can see this card there. And it says on this card, you have been guided to the right place at the right moment, and all elements within you are harmoniously attuned to align with your highest path. Trust that everything is going to be unfolding for your highest and greatest good. Stay on course. You're exactly where you're meant to be. So, as I said there, it feels like you're drifting, even though you have goals and plot points that you want to get to. But this is about finding the path. You're on the path. Trust the process, taking it step by step. We've also got partnership that came out there. Now, I feel like this is your guide as well. Your partnership with your guide. But it says here, your angel is encouraging you to embrace the beauty of partnerships, as it has the power to bring peace and create unity between individuals, ideas, and concepts. By approaching problems with an impartial and empathetic perspective, you'll be guided towards more harmonious outcomes. So, yeah, your reading was a lot about friendships, about people, evolving away from people who are negative, growing into friendships that bring positivity or nourish positivity there as well. We've also got wisdom. That's number 9, hermit energy, soul searching. But it says here, you have gained sufficient experience to take charge of your destiny. Take a moment to tap into the wisdom within and trust the guidance of your inner compass. That's that Wi-Fi, that sonar that you have. And it says, your perceived failures and past missteps have fine-tuned your rhythm and built the strength you need to set yourself free. The scissors is to cut, it's freedom. But also, this is about you fine-tuning. I did say it was like a redefining or coming back into alignment. Something felt like it was out of sync or maybe out of tune in your life in some way. And it's about getting back into the rhythm. And there was that message about the past, you know, looking back at the past and kind of looking at yourself. And at the time, feeling doubt or looking at yourself in a different way, but then realizing how awesome you were in that moment. But actually, you're still the same person. You're still awesome. So look at yourself with those eyes right now. You've come a long way. You've had a lot of experiences, and you've got this. We've got infinity. And it says, you are a divine co-creator and in oneness with all that is. Recognize your infinite nature. Open your heart, elevate your vibration, and connect to the divine. Feel the presence of your creator's love within you. There are no limits to what you can achieve. And I can see you achieving a lot right now. It's going to be different for everybody, of course. So whatever it is you're focused on, whether it is achievement on a personal project, whether it's achievement in success, whether it's achievement in like nourishing deeper, more authentic friendships, whatever it is, there is success in it. And finally, we've got synchronicity. And it says, you are a conduit of the magical, loving energy of the universe, radiating with abundance and beauty. Your path is manifesting in perfect synchronicity, reflecting how consequential your efforts are. You've put in all the hard work, and now you are going to be reaping the rewards. That's you digging your heels in. That's you kind of like investing in something. This is riches and wealth. That means basically that you have invested in something or you are a gift, because that's a past position card. And, you know, you're still making strides and steps towards things that you desire. Number 7 is a chariot card energy, moving forward, you know, aligning with what you desire. Sheer willpower is taking you to the next stage. Finally, we have the bat. Now, the bat can be about what is being a drain on your energy. Energy vampires, for example. You may also be looking, because there's so many like monetary cards here, you may be looking at what's a drain on your finances. These, again, are things outside of yourself. But also, bats have the sonar. You know, this is about putting out your energy, the feelers, as it were, to kind of like build a picture of your true environment. That's what bats do. They have that sonar that they emit, and it kind of tells them about what's going on there. And you have the Wi-Fi signal right as your core energy. So there's something in that. I mean, sometimes I have to trust the reading and go, where is this going? My guides are giving me this. This is weird. This is unusual, but I got to trust the process. May not resonate with everyone, but I have to honor what comes out and the cards and the energy. And here we are. Okay. So I hope something does resonate with someone out there. Thank you so much, my beautiful Cancerians, and love and light.